Evening all.
How we doing? How we doing? Good evening, people. I hope there's no Arsenal fans in here like it wasn't the home end.
I bet there's Gooners in here.
There was a fair few of them in the home end, wasn't there? There was one behind us.
Good
How we doing? Good evening. West Ham View boys are back. How we doing? How we doing?
Good evening, West Ham.
There was a few hundred people, or 1,000 people in the home end, wasn't there, for the Arsenal game?
There was. We're back. It's been a few weeks. We ain't done a show on here for about 3 or 4 weeks, but they've let us back in. How we doing?
Back. We get the win. Let's have it.
Oi, hammer lice.
Still buzzing.
I think, look, there's a few more viewers on it tonight than the last few ones.
Because we've actually won a game.
We've won a game.
It's been a rough patch the last 11 days, isn't it? It's been
We've actually just recorded a video on our own channel. For the guys, anyone that's watching who don't know who we are, we're avyourwesthamview. We'll just put a little banner up on here now just to give you a bit more of an insight as to...
We're on Facebook, aren't we, really? We've got about 40,000 on Facebook, and then we're just making a YouTube channel as well. We've just got a few bits and bobs on there as well. That's
right. So we were there last night. We were at the game. We were just... we normally set up in the Gods. We're normally in... 224. But we changed it up last night. We was down in the posh bit, weren't we?
Yeah, leather bloody seats, weren't they? Yeah. Didn't feel like it was at West Ham. Did not feel like that. It was a quality little seat, to be fair. It was right in line with the offside, so we could see every poor decision that line was making. They weren't too bad. Yeah. But it was good. The Arsenal fans took over our block, but they sounded just as quiet as they usually would any day. It didn't sound like they had an extra 300,000, did it?
No, I mean, I don't know how many they had. I know they sung it out, but yeah, I mean, when you compare it to when Leeds come a little while ago, the noise was nothing, was it?
No, yeah, exactly. So,
right, let's just want to make sure everyone can hear us. Can we get a audience if everyone can hear us?
All right. Make sure. I think the Wi-Fi is all right. We'll crack on anyway. We'll crack into it. If it's not working,
I think should we just run through the game last night, because obviously everyone's buzzing about it. Kudus off that right, Bowen up top. It was just...
It's always... Yeah, do you know what? I think it's done, innit? I mean, I think Bowen's got to be through the middle. We had a little conversation. Conversation through... before the game, actually, about Bowen through the middle. I think we were kind of saying, obviously, Moyes said it. He's done it with Arnautovic. He's done it with Antonio. He's moved these players to centre forwards. And for me, that game... Irons, loud and clear. Love it, Mark. Thank you very much. For me, that game for Bowen was the breakthrough. Like, okay, this bloke can play centre forward, especially with Kudus coming in on the right. It's not like we're missing that Jared Bowen type on the right. No. Kudus has chopped in, and that's what Bowen's been doing. Yeah. So it's nice that we've not necessarily lost that Bowen player on the right wing. We've actually gone, do you know what? Let's stick an even a winger just as good as Bowen on the right 100%. And convert him through the middle. And if he plays like that week in, week out, and I know it wasn't Arsenal's strongest team, but they still had Gabriel at the back, and he starts most weeks.
He does. Don't get twisted. I know Zinchenko's sort of gone out of favour a little bit this season, but he's not a bad player. I mean, he got rinsed by Kudus last night.
He's been Premier League champion multiple times.
Absolutely rinsed.
Let's talk about that Aguero pass as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you want to run through the game maybe from the start? Obviously, how we went in at half time, 1-0 up
with 0 shots.
I don't know.
Ben White, prolific finisher. Can we play Ben White every week? I mean, honestly, what a finisher! He's got up for the header, knocked it in. Do you know what, Ben White? You are a legend, mate. You kicked it off for us. You started the battering. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
what's going on there?
I know, but I mean, I saw a lot of people and Arsenal fans on the Twitter going at the end of the game. Oh, VAR should have checked it. He should have sous-checked Paul Ramsdale's shirt. Yeah, I did see it. I did see it. But what Ben White still knocked in his own net.
Oh yeah,
like Ramsdale could do nothing about it anyway. I don't know what you lot think in the comments, but from where I was sitting, Ramsdale was getting there, and it was no chance. It was a quality header. He should have. Yeah, it was a quality header. He should have fucking thanked Bowen at the end.
Yeah, obviously Ben White's tried to stick it over the net.
Yeah,
but he's put it straight in. Yeah. I think. Do you know what's funny? Talking on the corner, James Ward-Prowse come on later in the game, and he went over to take the corner.
Bowen was like, nah.
Go on your bike. And I think he was putting in some good balls. So maybe change it up. If you're doing an in-swinger, because we like an in-swinger, don't we? Get Bowen on the right-hand side.
I think it's got to be. I don't think it should be fixed. I think whoever's feeling it, because you get days, don't you, where like Bowen can't beat the first man, or we don't say that much about Ward-Prowse. Let's be honest. Yeah. But Bowen can also put a ball in it. It's good to mix it up every so often. I hate it when we go short from corners though. Like it's nice that we're actually putting it back in the box. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we started off like We would expected Arsenal to have the most of the possession, but I don't think we started off bad. I think we weren't really creating chances, but they weren't really getting chances either.
No, they weren't. And I think this is spot on from Howard. Moved on. I think maybe filtered out slowly because he's been off the ball the last few weeks, and he's very hot and cold. He'll have a nice spell of games. He might get a goal or two. So, be fundamental in the way we play, and then just like non-existent. And he didn't play yesterday. I know he obviously played against Everton, and he was poor, which is why he got hooked early doors. But on Mubama, we could actually see him and Tim Steiden, couldn't we, having a really lengthy conversation.
But on the touchline before the game, because obviously Mubamba, I don't know if he's injured, but he weren't on the bench. And we've been doing a bit of like research, and he's not been playing any game for the second team, really. Callum Marshall's been on fire, though, but he's not been getting many minutes. So I don't blame him for not winning a new contract. But it's like Tim Steiden was working his magic on the touchline when he was chatting to him, because they did have a lengthy conversation. I think Antonio, he does need to be slowly filtered out. But on the same time, it's crazy as it sounds, he's our all-time Premier League top goal scorer. We've got no real recognised striker at the moment. But Ings is washed as well. So
Ings is washed. But we just recorded a video actually, and we just uploaded it to our channel. And we were talking. Please must have been But we was talking about Fornals, weren't we? And how last night cup game, and he didn't get a sniff. And it's like, when we talk about Antonio and moving on, I feel like that's the way we've got to go now. And he's going to have to play, obviously. But come January, if we do not go out and buy another striker, obviously Scamacca's scoring goals suddenly.
We do say it. We actually spoke about this in our video. Like Bowen, I think Bowen is like a new signing up front now. We've got Kudus on the wing. I think we've almost replaced Bowen on the wing, and we've just brought in Bowen up front. I know it sounds stupid. We need to definitely sign a striker. But 4 hours on the bench, Ben Rama's in and off the bench, Cornet. Let's just like freshen it up. Let's sell them and bring in some young, hungry wingers that can actually make an impact. Because, the Everton game, right, or a lot of games, the Olympiacos game when they were starting, they don't have a lot about them anymore. No. Like, we need some hungry wingers. Yeah. I remember Dean Garner came through the ranks. I know he didn't get a lot of minutes, but he was chasing balls down. He was quick. Yeah, we wanted to watch him. A bit like when we first signed Fornals.
You want players that feel like they've got something to prove.
Coming off the bench.
The bench. And like, Ben Rama, he's been with us a little while. He's drying up. Although I think he worked really hard.
They all played good last night. No, they did. I don't think Ben Rama doesn't necessarily do the nitty-gritty. He did last night.
Susek, because obviously we spoke about him, and it's like, how can someone play 90 minutes in a game where we win 3-0, 3-1? Yeah. Might as well be 3-0. And I can't remember him doing anything other than winning a couple of flick-ons.
But I'd rather not remember anything than him do 2 or 3 mistakes. When you've got Paqueta and you've got Kudus around you, just do the simple things.
That's what I'm saying. So are we blind? He's got to be doing something. Because if he weren't on a pitch, we'd be down to 10 men and would be stuffed. James Lee says Benny was balls yesterday. I think in the final third, which is where he's actually meant to be doing his job, which is assisting, scoring and creating chances, maybe, but I think he worked hard, and that's what I'm talking about. I think he worked hard, and when you compare that to Pablo Fornals, who
shrugging his shoulders,
he'll work hard. In recent games, I think I've seen him his efforts just slowing down a bit.
But that comes with
the quality.
But I think that comes with if you're not a new signing, you've been about the club for a while and you've done your bit. He doesn't probably feel like he's got a lot to prove. He's done it, which is not good. We want to see hungry players come through. But back to Susek, I don't want another flicky Brazilian rainbow flick midfielder. We've got enough of them. Like, I love they're all quality. we want someone, for me personally, in the midfield that does the basics, and then Susek wins the header from a goal kick. Susek brings the ball down one time out of 50, but when he does, he then looks for Kudus and he looks for Paqueta to do the risks.
Well, let's talk about the title of the video, right? Because Bowen up top, Kudus on the right, and when you say who you want in the middle, and we've obviously spoken about Antonio, I do not want to see James Ward-Prowse in a double pivot.
He's like Mark Noble in the pivot. He's much better going forward.
When he's playing against Everton, right, when he's the deep line midfielder alongside Alvarez, what are we doing?
It's too negative. It's not his fault.
No, it's too negative, right? Alvarez, I think we've worked out how he plays, right? Yeah. He's not a ball-playing centre mid. He'll crunch someone. He'll break up play, and he'll play the simple ball. It might even be a bit of a dodgy.
Got a bit of pace about him, hasn't he?
He's got a bit of pace about him, and I think he needs to be in that real deep number 4.
Yeah.
Right. Sit deep, and then James Ward-Prowse needs to be a lot further out the pitch, and then Soucek in between. I think Bowen up top, Kudus on the right, Paqueta on the left, and then you can have Alvarez.
I do agree.
Soucek kind of dropping in between the double pivot.
Yeah,
and then Ward-Prowse pushing
the Soucek Ward-Prowse though. Yeah, no, I do agree with the midfield. I just think with the Soucek and the Ward-Prowse pushing, and I think that should be more of a rotational thing where, like, if you've got someone running down the wing, then Soucek you go and Ward-Prowse you sit. If you're playing it on the floor and it's a little more intricate passes in the middle, Ward-Prowse you go, you sit. Not necessarily fixed positions.
No,
I think Alvarez should be fixed. And
I feel with Bowen up top and Antonio, right? He can come on and he can cause havoc in the last half hour. Bowen, Paqueta, and Kudus, whoever's run their socks off the most.
That's been Mabamba though now. Coming on, would Antonio cause havoc?
I think in the last half an hour, he's a good player to have.
Yeah, yeah.
But whether he does or not,
defenders don't like it.
Defenders don't. If you've just had 70, 80 minutes up top against Bowen, right, and you've got Kudus coming in, Paqueta, and then you've got Antonio coming on for the last 20 minutes.
It's not what a defender wants, is it?
No, you just think, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah. But Danny Ings, for me, is not in the equation. I think, I thank him for that brace against Forest because that got us out of the relegation scrap. But that's what we signed him for.
Yeah.
We're now moving on. We're mid-table. We're top of the Europa group. We're quarterfinals of the Cup. It's not a bad start.
No.
But that's not Danny Ings for me. We signed him to keep us up, and we should have moved him on then.
No. The geezer's had enough chances, right? And whenever I watch us on the telly, for example, right, and I'm listening to the commentators talking about Danny Ings on a bench like he's some sort of fucking star.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and we were also saying it's we're a bit guilty of it now. He's a bit of a scapegoat, right? He comes on and he gets 10, 15 minutes to prove himself.
Yeah.
But it's the games where he does start, and he does now.
Yeah. I think, but then again, there's only one case for it. Strikers need a run of games to get goals. And they do, and that's one thing. I think Danny Ings is a scapegoat. I think he has had his chances. That one against Leicester end of the season, but I think it's more of a case of we've got a young, hungry striker. I think the Mabamba being in and about the squad is not doing Danny Ings any favours either, because there's another bit of added pressure. I don't think Danny Ings really cares as much. He's on stupid money. But enough of Danny Ings. I mean, what a win! Like, let's just talk about. You said before the game you fancied us, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was chatting to a mate actually before. He's massively Moyes out. Love him. We have a different opinion. Actually, not different because I'm not going to commit to either side, because there's times where I think like I'm effing and blinding all the way to the cows come home, because we've got Everton. That performance was abysmal, but I think Moyes made some tactical decisions which were ridiculous. And then we go into an Arsenal away at home and whatever. But yeah, I had a feeling about yesterday. Under the lights, in the cup, you get a feeling, you get a buzz, and Arsenal didn't field a massively sort of expensive team, if you like. They fielded their B team-ish.
But I think when you're under the lights at home, like that's what we was dying for a home draw in the quarters, weren't we? Liverpool. I mean, we was driving the way home, and we was driving home. I think everyone will know the last 4 teams. It was Port Vale, Borough, Liverpool, and us. And we're thinking, just avoid Anfield away. Even if it's Liverpool at home, we'll give it a go like we did last night. And then you get Port Vale and they draw Borough, and you're thinking, we've got Liverpool, number 8 in the draw first, please. And we literally got possibly the worst outcome. But let's be honest, there's nothing to lose there. We'll run through their fixtures nearer the time as well, because they've not got an easy run, and Klopp doesn't tend to go full strength in these competitions, does he?
We'll talk about it now, right? Liverpool, in the week that the Carabao Cup quarterfinal is meant to be played, they've got 2 home games, and it'll be 3 if you include us, right? It'll be Man United at home, us at home, and then they've got Arsenal at home.
And if they're in the mix in the top 4, what are they going to want? They're going to want to win a Carabao Cup, or they want to get back in the Champions League.
Yeah, I know United might not necessarily be the top 6 game, but Liverpool versus Man United is probably one of the
biggest games
in
England.
Biggest game in England. In terms of viewers and the pressure in the game. So,
by then, Man United might have a new manager. Probably will by the looks of it, and they might have a different bit of spike of form.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. We are enjoying a win for sure. I think it's just it's a whole narrative. We're doing a bit of a review. I think
No, I think he's agreeing with us.
Yeah, I think so as well. But I'm just saying, I think you got to look at the bigger picture, right? I think we didn't perform very well against Everton, but we've reacted really well. But that's the way got to look at it. And we've got going to that Brentford game. We've got a few suspensions, and we've got you can bring the fixtures up, Sam. We've got a few. Put the fixtures up.
Oh, you want to look at it?
Yeah. We've got a few games coming up where obviously Brentford game, for example, Paqueta and Alvarez are suspended, but Kudus has just hit a bit of form. Ward-Prowse will come back in for sure. I think really the Everton game, I think we was really missing Emerson. I think he gets us through. He breaks us forward. I said it many times before. I think he'll be nice to get back in because we didn't have him against Everton.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have the Ward-Prowse, and as you said, we'll have the Soucek and Alvarez hopefully pivot him. Ward-Prowse will get a bit more of an attacking role against Brentford because of missing Paqueta.
So Brentford away on Saturday.
Yeah.
No Alvarez, no Paqueta. Alvarez is missing as well.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
It's going to be. What's it going to be?
Was it? So
because you said Alvarez. You said Alvarez and Soucek.
Yeah, I said Ward-Prowse will get more of a free roam role as Paqueta's not there, and then it'll be probably Alvarez and Soucek.
Alvarez isn't playing.
Oh, fuck, Alvarez isn't playing, is it? Yeah.
So it's going to be. It's probably going to be Soucek, Ward-Prowse doing more of a pivot together.
Oh,
and then it's going to be Ben Rama.
Or does he bring Fornals back in the middle?
He's probably going to play Kudus through the middle again. I mean, be honest, right? Kudus played well in the 10 against Everton.
Yeah,
he just looked better on the right last night.
Or I've seen a few tweets saying, well, could he go 5 at the back? Could he go Mavropanos, Zuma?
Yeah.
Agward, Emerson, Koof, Ward-Prowse, and Soucek as a. I don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
We never know boys anyway. All we do know is
that Ings will probably be on the bench and come on for the last 10.
That run of fixtures ain't bad.
Yeah.
You've got obviously, as you said, Brentford away on Saturday. Massive game. We never really turn up against Brentford, do we?
No.
We tend to do better. But you've got Forest, Burnley, and Palace. Right. 2 of those are at home. And again, if you go by Everton, it's not.
None of them are easy games, but I think if you want to fight for top 8, these are the guys. We said it to keep up with the Newcastles, the Brightons, and the Villas.
Yeah,
got to win them games. Obviously, this doesn't include the European ones and the cup games, but these are. I think this is the bread and butter. Moyes has said this season.
Yeah,
what we missed last season was the consistency in the league.
Yeah, we
lost
20 games last season.
Yeah,
we lost 20 games last season in the league out of 38, and these are some of the games we lost. We lost.
Brentford, definitely.
Brentford, we lost.
Forest early days of the season. I remember that one.
I can't remember a Palace time. It's always a dodgy one with Palace, isn't it?
Yeah.
They just sit back. And us against teams that sit back don't work because we sit back and counter. And I feel like these other teams just tend to enjoy it.
Yeah.
They think, oh, it's just a clash of styles, isn't it? And when you're playing a similar team, a similar sort of setup, it's hard to break each other down, and Everton obviously had the quality in an actual striker to turn and
someone I will say is you're right, we're better on the counter attack, but with hopefully the introduction of Bowen through the middle, Antonio's not necessarily that ball player, is he, where you give him to feet, he'll give him go.
Yeah.
He's a target man. If you've got someone like Jared Bowen up front who's more of a nimble striker, we might be able to hold possession a bit more if you play it on the floor. There was a couple of situations where we played it over the top which didn't work, but if we can keep it on the floor, that's not Antonio's kind of game, but it's Bowen's. So we might actually be a bit better off against the likes of Brentford, Forest, Burnley, and Palace holding possession, because it all starts from the back to the front, obviously. But when you're feeding balls to the striker and you've got Antonio jumping on the floor and stuff, that's not what we want. Bowen will try and play the ball on the floor.
Definitely.
So it could,
And I saw it last night when Rice was on. He was very much sort of intercepting.
Yeah.
And whereas Antonio, he done
the last man. Yeah.
Yeah, he don't really.
He's not got the legs anymore.
Read the game as well as someone like Bowen would, who's actually had to do a lot of the defensive work in his career because he's always tracking back and whatever. Whereas Antonio, as we know, when we saw him in right back, ain't that guy.
No.
But looking at the table,
Brentford's a big one, isn't it?
Brentford's massive, right? Because if they beat us, they leapfrog us. They go up to probably 8th because
who United got?
I don't know. They've got Newcastle. Oh no, that's Arsenal. Who've United got? Let's have a little look.
But Brentford, yeah, it's a massive game, and if we win, we could potentially go 11 points in Newcastle in 6th. They've got Arsenal this weekend, so apparently Newcastle have had an unbelievable start to the season, which they have done in Europe for sure. They've done well, but if we beat Brentford, and Arsenal beat Newcastle, we're 11 points in Newcastle, and we're top of our Europa group. So it's a big game. It's for me. We haven't. I don't think we've been in the bottom half of the season. In terms of the bottom 10.
The frustration lies with if we did beat Everton, which we should have.
We'd be up there.
We'd be 6th right now.
Yeah,
because we've scored. I know because
no, we'd be joint sixth.
Yeah, either way, we'd be joint sixth. So that's the frustrating thing, and that's how you've got to keep up with the pack. But if we then don't lose to Brentford, we're going to be looking at how the bottom half looks.
Yeah,
if we lose to Brentford. So United have got Fulham away. That's a winnable game.
You'd expect them to get a result.
Yeah, you would. You definitely would.
Brentford have come off the back of a win against at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to. I don't know what their home record is this season, but we've been Bowen, especially, been on fire away from home. I think he's a record breaker, isn't he? So Bowen, find Bowen whenever you can away from home this season. He scored 5 out of 5. He's the one we can look for. Hopefully, I mean, 14 points isn't a bad start. I think it's now how we keep consistent, right? We've got Brentford and we've got Olympiacos on the Thursday. How do you think he'll line up against Olympiacos? Because
it'll go.
Do you think he'll go strong? And then
he'll
go strong.
Yeah, because he messed up. He messed up last week by going weak in an attempt to play Everton on a weekend and turn them over. So
you're right. Yeah,
he messed it up, and he's going to have to make amends if he wants to. We're sat here now saying, we're joined top of the Europa League group, but that won't be the case if we get turned over by them at home. So he'll go strong.
Hope the atmosphere is as good as it was against Arsenal last night.
I'm sure it will. It's under the lights. You can't beat a home game
in the window as well. It's quality.
Everyone's up for it. I'm certainly looking forward to it. So I think it's going to be an interesting few weeks, because if we can get a run of games together, it puts to bed. We've lost to Villa and Everton in the league. If we do lose against Brentford, we've got problems.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, because we said that. Yeah. We've beat Liverpool. We've lost Liverpool, lost to City. The good teams, Villa, I put them in that bracket. We should have beat Everton. Yeah. Is it a blip, or are we going to start to worry?
Yeah, we'll see. It's early days in the season. You play nearly 40 games and we've only played 10.
Yeah.
So let's see where we go. See where we're at over the next 5 games, especially with the fixtures that we've actually got on paper. If we win 3 of those, we'll be right up there. So I think last night's result was a bit of a booster. Got everybody on side. Obviously, after losing a few on the bounce, everyone starts dividing and I'm this, I'm that. But it's nice to have everyone on the same hymn sheet for hopefully even just for a day or two.
And it's good that the players, the players are obviously still playing for the manager, but they're looking motivated. They don't look like they've been, these last 3 games hasn't knocked their heads down.
No. And I think if we can slowly
pick up some results.
I was going to say slowly switch over to this new style. Kudus on the right, Bowen up top. I genuinely believe. I mean, in the first half, although we didn't actually create much, we just looked better in the 4-4-2 even.
Yeah. When
you had the Susek, Alvarez, and then Paquetá kind of teaming up with Bowen.
It's just more like ball. It's just you're playing it on the floor. Like there was less long ball. The only real long balls I can remember was the good passes from Maguire.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time when you got Antonio up front, the Moyes style is find him, hold the ball up, and find it out wide. Whereas with Bowen, we're finding it to the midfielders, and they're just doing little triangles and they're getting it wide. So I think the next few weeks are going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a tough one against Brentford when you're missing your arguably two best players in the midfield. So I just really hope Ward-Prowse steps up. He's had a bit of a not flat couple of weeks, but he had an unbelievable start. He can't keep them standards throughout. But I hope Ward-Prowse comes back to his best against Brentford away.
I think Peter's raised a really good question. He's asking if we are able to grow a beard like Russ and Anson.
Well, it is November, mate, and I've been trying for the last 20 years, so probably not.
Okay, so this I think this is a conspiracy, right? This is why they're getting us on here, because you've got 2 old chaps who've got big old beards. They're like, we need to get a bit of youth on here, don't we? That's what they say. That's what they say.
Yeah, you're getting bored of them, aren't you? Surely by now.
Yeah.
Only having one. But no, I think have we wrapped most up?
I think so. Yeah. Just again, another massive shout out. I'm sure they're listening to Russ and Anton and Holly and the team.
Get a good work up.
Yeah, they've obviously bared with us the last few weeks. We've been very busy, but it's nice to be back on a Thursday night. And we are hoping that we can continue some good form.
Definitely.
So just a reminder:
check the YouTube out, check the Facebook out. As you said, we just put a video out. Similar topics, but definitely some different opinions on our own channel. So definitely check it out. Let us know in the comments here and on our channel. What you want to see. Like, you want to see? We did a little guess the player last time, didn't we? It was quite good. So, and I think we drew. So we need to get one of them back soon. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And hopefully that Arsenal game's a big booster, and we'll go back into the weekend and get another result.
Absolutely.
I think if West Ham win, more people watch. So let's hope we get.
Of course, that's the way it goes. Right? You're more motivated. You're more happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
Look, like, subscribe to our channel. Also, like and subscribe to the West Ham Network.
Yes.
Have a wonderful evening, guys. We'll leave the chat running for a few minutes. We'll get the rock music going, and we'll
have a good weekend, all. Come on, you wines.
Go, you wines.